Welcome back to another GeekaWhat video. Today I'm taking you over the best $300 gaming PC build for 2016, specifically the March and April time. This build is easily a console killer and has some really good upgrade paths and really unique component selection going for it, all of which I'm going to elaborate on in just a moment's time. It's very capable of CSGO, Minecraft, World of Warcraft, League of Legends, and even games such as GTA V. But without any further ado, make sure to drop a like rating and to subscribe. Follow my Twitter at GeekaWhat. But let's get straight into this build. Now for the CPU, I went for the AMD A10 7870K. This is actually an APU. An APU is a CPU and a GPU in one, hence the lack of graphics card in this build. It's got a 3.9 GHz clock speed, which is really good. 4 GHz is really quite high, and this is just below that number. It's also overclockable as it's got the K after the 7870 and is one of AMD's highest end APUs. The fact that it's quad core also means it's a very capable CPU, which we'll get onto in just a moment's time. The motherboard is possibly the most important component. It connects everything up, it sends data between all of the different hardware, and it gives instructions for basically everything. And for the motherboard I went for was the Asus A68HM-K. I love this motherboard, and it comes in a Micro ATX form factor, which is the middle of the main three motherboard sizes, meaning you're not having a massive motherboard, but you're not also restricting yourself on features in the smallest motherboard size, which also saves you money and increases value. For the RAM, I went for two 4GB DIMMs of G.Skill Ripjaws X series. This gives 8GB of DDR3 2133MHz RAM. Now the reason I've gone for this specific set of RAM, not only because it was really cheap at the time of uploading this video, and it looks really nice, but also because it's 2133MHz. Because an APU is a CPU and a GPU, normally a GPU has its own onboard very fast memory. Sadly, an APU has to deal with the system memory, so the DRAM as opposed to the VRAM. Hence, a faster form of memory is much better. The reason I've gone for two 4GB DIMMs is to enable dual channel mode, which gives the APU twice the bandwidth, memory-wise also increasing performance by astronomical amounts. For storage, the Seagate Barracuda 1TB 7200 RPM hard drive is the best option. It isn't as fast as an SSD, however it does give a lot higher capacity, so 1TB, which is double the size of what you get with the next gen consoles. It's got plenty of room for your movies, music, Steam games, etc. 1000GB is more than enough, and 7200 RPM really is as fast as mainstream hard drives get. For the case, I went for the Thermaltake Versa H21. It's got a window out on the outside and the inside, so you can admire your build once it's done. It's an ATX mid-tower, meaning it has room for up to an ATX motherboard. Only using the Micro ATX motherboard just gives you a bit more room to play around with, and I think the aesthetic of this case with both USB 3 and USB 2 is a great option. For the power supply, I went for the EVGA 430W 80+ certified ATX power supply. Bit of a mouthful, I know. 430 watts is overkill to say the least for this build, but going for a reputable power supply manufacturer really is key, as the power supply is what keeps your whole system juiced up. This is also what I mean about upgrade paths. So the motherboard has a PCI-E 3.0 lane on, which allows you to add a graphics card in later on down the line. The nature of the CPU, with it being quad core, means it's compatible with the latest AAA titles, meaning it shouldn't bottleneck something like a GTX 750 Ti, 950, R7 360 or R7 370. 430 watts is also more than enough to allow for a graphics card update later on down the line to really make this a fantastic gaming machine. But in its current state, it is the best $300 gaming PC build for March and April 2016. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like rating below, make sure to subscribe, follow my Twitter at GeekaWhat, and we'll as always see you in the next GeekaWhat video.